Hey, welcome back to That'll Do Garage. Thanks for joining me today. Simple little project on this hot rod behind me, oil change and tire rotation. This is new to me, 2017 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now you might be asking yourself, didn't you already have a Jeep Grand Cherokee? Doth mine eyes deceiveth me? Yes, I already did have a Jeep Grand Cherokee. It was black. It had the Eco Diesel. But to be frank, my lovely wife never got used to the diesel sound, just didn't appreciate that aspect of it. And it was constantly in the shop, constantly at the dealership. It was all covered under their free warranty, you know, the extended warranty for the emission stuff. So that was good, but we just lost patience with it. So we picked this up a couple months ago. We've put about 10,000 miles on it so far. It's pert near exactly the same as the other one, but this has the V6 gas engine in it, so it's been very good for us so far. No complaints. It's really quiet, decent gas mileage. I just had to use it to tow a car, and it did really well with that, so I'm pretty happy with it. But today we're just going to change the oil because it's got about 10,000 miles. The oil life monitor thing is down to 20%. And then we're going to rotate the tires. It had new tires on it when it came from the dealership. And I started to notice just a little bit of vibration, or kind of a, I don't know what to call it. I guess, yeah, a vibration that you can feel. And I don't want them getting any funny wear patterns on them. So it's time to rotate the tires. But yeah, it should be quick and easy. I'll try to explain a little bit about the vehicle or tire rotation or whatever comes up as we go here. So with the Eco Diesel, the materials I use for the oil change is very important. We talked about that a lot in that video, and the filters, and you know how sensitive the emission system is. With this hot rod, not so much. So I did some reading on the Google machine, and this is what I'm supposed to use, right? 0W20. And just for, you know, information purposes here, this whole W deal is a kind of a rating for the resistance to flow of the oil. And I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's like one of them is 0 degrees Fahrenheit and the other one is like 50 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that. So this one has, it's probably the other way around, but this has almost zero, essentially zero resistance to flow at whatever temperature that is, and this has a 20. So if you take like a 1540, like a heavy oil that you put in a diesel truck or in my kid's Audi, you know, that it's thicker, it's heavier, it's more like molasses, and it offers protection in a different way. So this tells you this is a really thin oil, which kind of tells you what the engine's like, you know, tight tolerances, not massive loads, that sort of thing. It doesn't need a big, thick, heavy oil to protect itself. And they also do this because the thinner oil offers less resistance to rotation, and that gives you better fuel economy and better power and so on. But I did go full synthetic, and I do like this Amazon Basics product line because they offer me 6 quarts for a decent price, and this is supposed to take like 5.9, so that should be perfect. And then I picked up this Fram filter because it had lots of stars beside it on the Amazon website. It's supposed to be good for like 32,000 cumums, whatever that is. It sounds like a lot, so that'll be good. And yeah, that's it, nothing special. All right, so here we are. This is my first time doing an oil change on this hot rod, so I don't know where anything is or what the heck I'm doing. But I think this is like a 3.6 V6, and they've been out forever. They have a pretty good reputation, I think, in this vehicle and several other vehicles, so not too worried about it. Oh, a tiny bit of oil there on the top of the valve cover. I wonder what that's about. I'll have to look into that. It's hard to see, but I think that cover comes off, I assume. Apparently we've got a K&N air filter, so that's a nice waste of money. And yeah, nothing else A lot of room in there, which is kind of nice. You could sit down here and change your serpentine belt. And honestly, that was one of the reasons, because you open the hood on the Eco Diesel and you can't even see, you know, light in there. It's so packed in there. There's just everything. And I come in here to, when we were going to purchase this vehicle, I look in here and I'm like, geez, Louise, you got 1.5 feet down here. I could do a lot of work with that space, you know. It kind of tells you like the complexity, right? Like this vehicle was designed to accommodate a V8, like the Hemi V8. I think you can get that in here. And there's extra room because this is a putsy little V6, right? So that's kind of cool. And it just makes it a little better fit. It's easier to work on, you know, a small engine and a big engine bay than the opposite. So I just noticed right here, this is totally my handwriting, which means that I wrote this, which means that I've probably changed the oil on this hot rod before, which means that I don't remember changing the oil on this hot rod before, which is hilarious, right? Like, what the heck? It's only been 10,000 miles and I can't even remember. But anyway, the filter's up here and our fill plug is right here. Our fill port, it says right on the cap there, 020. So we're gonna put the pan underneath it, drop the plug with the 13 millimeter, and then up here, this bugger is, I guess, a 24 or something, according to my notes. Maybe I'm backwards, I don't know, we'll see. And then it needs about 5.5 quarts, which is close to what I read on the interwebs. All right, it's all coming back to me now. I took that cover off because when you go through the hatch, and I tried to put my extension here on the filter housing, and this tube was in the way, the air intake tube, so I couldn't get straight on it. And I don't want to round off that soft plastic, you know, so I took the cover off, and then I just took this one clamp off and moved it over just a little bit, and now I can get straight at it. But I do remember doing this oil change now. It just took me a while. So when you are going to check the oil after oil change, start it up, let it run for maybe a minute, and then shut it off, and then give it 5 or 10 minutes, because you got to circulate the oil all the way through the whole engine to, you know, lubricate everything. But then you want to let all that oil drain back down to the oil pan before you check the oil. So, you know, go grab some coffee or whatever, and then come back and check it. But I did that already. Oil level's good. I'm going to go Google how to reset the oil life reminder thingy, because I always forget. Okay, super easy. Feel dumb for forgetting. So the key is on in the run position, but the engine is off right now. And I'm just going to push down to my oil life there at 21%. I'm going to hold OK. And that's it. She's 100%. So you might be thinking, what's the deal with the tire rotation, right? Like, contrary to popular belief, it's definitely not just rotating it. What we're going to do is take all the tires and change the way they're rolling. So this one on the front is primarily going to be rolling counterclockwise, and the one on the passenger side is going to be primarily rolling clockwise. So you get kind of different wear patterns in them. You can get what they call feathering, which these tires are almost brand new, so you can't really see it here, but if you leave it on the front too long, this surface right here will kind of get like a wave to it, like scalloped. It can happen on the outside too, but that's a sign of not being rotated often enough. And that comes from turning and all kinds of different stuff. So we're going to just rotate all the tires. I'll take the right rear and put it on the left front, and vice versa. And that way they get to distribute the wear and even things out and prevent that kind of cupping pattern. That's it. All wrapped up. Good to go. That's all there is for today. Thanks for watching.